The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
Our stock of the day is Gold Road Resources, just one of a number of gold producers out with their quarterly production updates. Gold Road posting record December quarter gold sales of more than 47,500 ounces, an average sales price of $4,093 an ounce. However, it missed its guidance for 2024 with annual production from its Gruyere joint venture slightly below annual guidance. Annual production from the Gruyere joint venture totaling 287 plus thousand ounces, slightly below guidance of up to 305,000 ounces. Average all-in site costs there were 2,211 an ounce, slight miss on annual guidance, and that came even as Gruyere hit record quarterly output in 3 months to December. And the gold miners' annual production guidance for Gruyere is 355,000 ounces and all-in sustaining cost of between $2,400 and $2,600 an ounce. Well, before we actually get some analysis of stock itself, let's take a look at the gold price. And David mentioned at a record there in Aussie dollars at least. And Michael, you brought along the gold chart here. Talk us through it.
Yeah, this is the US dollar gold price. So it's heading back to the end of 2020. So yeah, look, over the past year, David and I on these specials have looked at the gold chart, and we've been positive every time from memory. I mean, you've got that line there in the middle of the screen. That was the major resistance level that gold broke out of around March last year, and it's been trending well ever since. And on the top right-hand side, I put in a couple of blue lines there to show that gold did consolidate for a bit, but it seems to be breaking higher again. And with gold, the trend is your friend. And I think David's made this point previously that gold companies are still quite undervalued. And when we have a look at those results from Gold Road, massive margins. So they're selling it at $4,000 Aussie, and their costs are about $2,200 an ounce. So yeah, look, I think ultimately, in my opinion, the gold price is further to run, and I think gold stocks in general have further to run.
Just before we get into that Gold Road, take a look at the chart there, David. What are those key levels you're watching for gold?
Oh, look, that where it is right now, like that's the US dollar chart. As Michael said, it's if it holds this level and it continues higher, you can see it's got good support there. It's a different outlook if you look at the Aussie dollar. I know we don't have the Aussie dollar gold price, but it's a different looking chart to the US one, and it's broken to a new high today above 4,400 Aussie per ounce. So as Michael said, for any gold producer producing like Gold Road at 2,200 all-in sustaining costs, that's 100% margin.
Yeah.
And if you're producing 160 to 180,000 ounces of gold, to do the maths, it's pretty profitable.
All right, so let's bring up the Gold Road chart then. Talk us through it, Michael, as you see it.
Yeah, so the Gold Road chart in some ways has tracked what the gold price has done, with a bit of a delay in that, there was, again, we've got this sort of line there in the middle of the screen showing that there was quite a bit of resistance. When the price of gold broke out in US dollar terms to a new high, Gold Road was still languishing around $1.50, $1.60, but we could see on the right-hand side, it's finally made an upside break earlier this year, has gone up a bit vertically. So, I think on the back of today's announcement, it's down slightly, maybe 0.5%, not much at all. But I wouldn't be surprised if it cools off. I mean, if it does cool off a little bit here, I think that would be a buying opportunity. That would be healthy.
Yeah.
The longer-term trend looks good. And I just think with these gold stocks, unless you're coming out with a quarterly that's a disaster, I mean, we saw with Gold Road looks slightly under expectations. At the end of the day, they're all making, buckets of money at the moment, and the gold price is only heading higher. So they should all head higher unless you come out with an announcement that's a bit of a shocker. And I don't think today's announcement was a shocker. So it should do well.
You're saying if it comes off a bit, a buying opportunity, what sort of level are you looking at there?
Oh, look, it's hard to say. I mean, maybe if you see it closer to $2.30, only just because it's gone up so much at the start of this year, it could just cool off a little. But I think, if you're waiting, for that extra 10-cent dip, you might not get it.
Yep.
I think the upside is too great to be squabbling over, maybe getting it 5 cents, 10 cents cheaper.
All right, so you'd certainly be holding it.
Yes.
Yep. So,
Yeah, very much the same view. I mean, looking at that nice breakout above that resistance at $2, and had a spike up. So any spike down, I agree with Michael there. Buying opportunity. Boy, if it came back to $2, don't expect it, but if it did, that would be a screaming buy at $2 with that major resistance that it broke above. The bizarre thing is, and this is not just Gold Road, this is the whole gold sector. You can see, look, how long did it take to break out? And yet the gold price has been steadily trending up since 2019 really strongly. I mean, it was 1,800 Aussie or 1,600 Aussie an ounce, and now it's 44 since 2019. That's massive. And I don't know what investors are waiting for here. There's a delayed reaction here or but the whole sector is significantly undervalued. Considering where the gold price is, and as long as you maintain costs, and Gold Road's unhedged as well, so they've got that upside, all the upside potential. So any buying opportunity for pullback below 230 and $2 would be fantastic, but I can't imagine it would get all the way back there unless the gold price pulls back.
just quickly, what would your pick be in the gold sector?
Oh, geez, there's so many. I like Regis Resources. I like West Africa, although it is in West Africa. A lot of people don't like West Africa, but geez, their margins are huge. Perseus came out with their today. Their costs were a bit higher though. But I like, there's you got Genesis. There's so many, but I'd say Regis would probably be my number one pick in the sector.
Michael?
Yeah, I think pretty much all the majors, as long as they're doing the right thing and maintaining their costs. So, Genesis, Perseus came out today. Even Northern Star. If you're looking for something that's more sort of risk reward, sort of bottom fishing in a way, have a look at RSG, which fell because couple of months ago we had the executives sort of held over the week in Mali, and and the share price dropped, but that's really tightening up here, and it looks like it could start to catch up and burst higher. So keep an eye on RSG.
But you do have that sovereign risk though.
Yeah. The other sector it's the explorers are incredibly undervalued. They haven't taken off at all.
Yeah.
And they've got some proven resources out there. And, in emerging producers like Rox Resources is an emerging gold producer. I like that one. And Petronas is a good one as a company that's got a bit of gold in there. A lot of cash as well. So there's a whole bunch of, Kingston Mining as well. It's a small gold copper producer in New South Wales, but they've got a fantastic asset in PNG. So there's a lot of undervalued explorers out there that are, primed for a takeover actually by the majors. Because why would you go drilling looking for it when you can buy these companies on the market? They're so undervalued with the gold resources they've got in the ground. I've never seen anything like this in 40 years. I've never seen the sector so undervalued, and especially the explorers have not moved. It's bizarre.
All right. Well, there you go. You are spoilt for choice in the gold sector. That is our stock of the road, Gold.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.